Hello boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, and every identity in between. My name is Tamara and welcome to another episode of The Yellow Wall.
Make I tell you the matter. Still an agent butter with this pure water, but no be me go judge.
This week, I wanted to do something fun and lighthearted. I wanted to talk about relationships and sex and things that actually bring me joy. But Nigeria and you Nigerians have refused to have even the slightest bit of chill. Things have been legit wild recently. One of the most important men in the country allegedly got himself a new wife. Big Brother Naija ended and we had our first female winner. BBC Africa exposed creepy lecturers with their amazing documentary Sex for Grades, and Twitter continued to be a den of iniquity full of people shouting and being assholes for no valid reason. There's been a lot of juicy gist recently, and usually I would love it because I'm a messy bitch who loves some tea and lives for drama, but I couldn't enjoy any of it because I've realized that you Nigerians, you lack focus and you love to pay attention to the stupidest details. Like take for instance this Sex for Grades thing. A group of reporters went out of their way to show the sexual harassment going on in our country's educational system, exposing lecturers' creeps for the villains they are, and validating every university student who has had to deal with this rubbish. And what do some of you Nigerians want to talk about? The fact that, the men are pastors. Or the fact that the men might be publicly shamed, that it's not good what we are doing to them. They ask girls to sleep with them in exchange for letting them pass school. Who cares if they are pastors? Who gives a if they are publicly shamed? They didn't care when they were doing their bullshit, so why should we? The final straw for me was earlier this week on Twitter when the Cynthia situation happened. I knew I would not be able to say Cynthia situation consecutively. The Cynthia situation started when a girl called Cynthia tweeted about her friend Anita being nearly raped by a certain man whose handle is Ynotes. Ynotes tweeted that the girls had confessed it was a lie and that he hadn't almost raped Anita but had actually slept with her, and that Cynthia refused to take back her tweet because she didn't want the Twitter fiends to come for her. Well, because Nigerians love to focus on the wrong thing, they didn't come for her. Instead, they came for Ozzy Etomi and feminists everywhere. Twitter icon Ozzy had tweeted how much she liked Cynthia's tweets a while back, and somehow Nigerians took this to mean that, Ozzy encouraged the girl to lie about the rape, and that feminism encouraged Cynthia's behavior. There's a lot more to the story, with people calling Ozzy a hypocrite for believing Cynthia and not believing the blatant troll who lied and called her husband a rapist, and with the Anita later tweeting that she was indeed raped but had not told her friends the full story. But the fact is, I don't actually give a about the story. What I'm angry at is how everything eventually turns into an attack on women and feminism. I've accepted that Nigeria doesn't like women, and I know it absolutely hates feminism. But for God's sake, can people stop hating on feminism when it has nothing to do with the situation? All this troll, Cynthia and her tweets, all of these situations involve women who identify as feminists, sure, but that's as far as the feminism goes. Which brings me to today's topic, things that have nothing to do with feminism. Thing 1, Ozzy Etomi. Personally, I'm not on Twitter, and when I was, I didn't follow her, but from what I've seen and what I hear, Ozzy is a badass bitch. Are you going to bleep that? She tweets what she wants, and she doesn't give a who cares. She's a feminist and tweets her views and thoughts on it a lot. When most local Nigerian men think feminism, they think of Ozzy. But please, just because she's one of the most influential feminists on Nigerian Twitter does not mean she's the grand wizard supreme of all Nigerian feminists. Every time a woman expresses a feminist thought or just tweets men are scum, in Nigerian men's minds it's because Ozzy Etomi made them do it. How does it make sense? She's a working mother and wife, dear. It's not the secret leader of an anti-men terrorist cell. Her tweets about wanting equal rights for women and calling out men when they with those rights, that's feminism. Everything else on her timeline is her opinion, not the Nigerian feminist Bible. So men, hear this now. It's very possible to be a feminist and have completely different views and opinions about life from Ozzy Etomi. Okay. Thing 2, rape. I can never understand how anytime there's any rape scandal of any kind in this Nigeria, someone somewhere must bring feminism into the matter. Take the Cynthia situation. A girl ran with a story and might have falsely accused a man of rape. That is a woman who made a mistake. Please, where does the situation have anything to do with her wanting equal rights for women? Like, where does the feminism enter? The idea of believing a woman who accuses a man of rape isn't feminism. It's human fucking decency. It's the equivalent of believing a man if he says he was raped, or believing any victim when they say any crime has been committed against them. It's called giving people the benefit of the doubt. It has nothing to do with whether you're a feminist or not, and everything to do with whether you're a good human being or not. If it turns out the accuser is pulling a Justice Smollett and lying, it's not good. But come on, guys, let's be real. We all know that for every one person that lies about rape, there are 50 people who are not. So let's move on. Thing 3, marriage. A lot of the time when I tell men I'm a feminist, the first thing they ask me is, oh, so you don't want to marry? Or, oh, so you won't cook for your husband? I hate it. It sounds so stupid when people ask that. Being a feminist does not mean you don't want to date men. It doesn't mean you hate men. It doesn't mean anything about men except for wanting to be treated the same as the men. It's perfectly possible for a woman to be a stay-at-home wife who cooks every meal for her husband and only takes care of her children and is still a feminist. That was not a sentence that made sense. Okay, whatever. The point of feminism is to be equal and to do whatever the hell you want to do. It doesn't mean we don't want someone to love us. It doesn't mean we don't want to take care of someone we love. It just means that inside the love, we want to be respected and treated as a man's equals and not their servants. I've realized that the only type of man who cannot understand this basic explanation is the type of man who claims he's traditional, but really is just lazy and wants someone to do all the cooking and cleaning and raising of his children. And to this man I say, instead of hating on feminists, just find someone who would be happy to do that for you anyway. Contrary to popular opinion, not every feminist wants to work, dear. And if you really still don't want her to be a feminist because you don't think men and women should be equal, then deal. Thing 4, physical strength. Feminism is all about equality. Equal rights, social, political, and economical. Fine. No one nowhere ever claims that we also wanted equal strength. And yet Nigerian men love to bring it up. I can't tell you how many times I've asked a man to help me open something or fix something, and then they smugly go, I thought you were a feminist now. Can't you do it by yourself? What kind of daft nonsense is that? Listen, men, hi. I know you're stronger than us. We all know that you're stronger than us. No one is fighting you on that. We like it when you open jars and help us lift heavy boxes. But you don't have to brag about it all the time and hold it over our heads. I mean, women go to work with crippling stomach aches once a month for decades, and you don't see us bragging about it? We literally cook human beings inside our intestine, push them out of our most delicate body parts, and then spend how many months feeding them from our other most delicate body parts, and we don't disturb you people about it too. But you people want to make noise because you can lift some extra kg in the gym. Will you keep quiet? It has nothing to do with feminism. You people will continue to be stronger than us, and we will continue to abort children. So everybody face their own and shut up about it. Thing 5, Twitter and the other social medias. I feel like a lot of people are turned off by the idea of feminism based on what they see on Twitter and social media. And I get it. Every day, men are scum. Don't trust men. All black men cheat. I'm not going to sit here and pretend toxic feminism isn't a thing. I know there are women who use feminism as an excuse to take out their anger and frustrations on men. I know there are women who find certain things men do personally offensive and use feminism as an excuse to attack them. Even me, I've tweeted men as scum before because personally, yes, sometimes you men irritate the living shit out of me. But it's not like when I tweeted it, I put #feminist. Can a feminist not have their own personal rants sometimes? So listen, Nigerian men, is simple. If a tweet is actively bashing men in general, it's not feminist. And if it's empowering a woman, it is. So sometimes, yes, a feminist will bash men because sometimes you people are annoying. The same way, sometimes a man will bash women, but that doesn't necessarily make them a misogynist, does it? So,
good afternoon. What's up?
can you see why I hate men? Who asked him? Like, he's just there in the corner. Sorry, that's my Siri. So, do you get it? If yes, welcome to social media through new eyes. And if no, just help us all and delete your accounts, I beg. Like, maybe social media is not for you. Listen, guys, I'm sorry, but there's nothing bad about feminism at its core. If you look beyond social media, there are so many great feminist organizations doing amazing work, offering shelter, offering funds, offering legal aid. That is feminism in action, not ganging up on men in their Twitter mentions and shouting, hey, scum. I know there's so much talk and discussion, and sometimes it can get irritating and overwhelming, but when it boils down to it, feminists are just out here trying to make this money and not have men tell us what to do. Is that really so bad? And that brings me to the end of the episode. Are you a feminist, or do you hate the movement and everything it stands for? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below or on our social media, and make sure you subscribe to Accelerate TV so you're always up to date with our mostly pretty feminist content. My name is Tamara, and I'll be back soon with more from the Yellow Wall.